Happy Sunday, beautiful people. I'm so excited that you've joined me today because I'm going to London to meet Global Award Winning, amazingly awesome soprano, Marika Rauscher. She is on my show. You're going to meet her in a minute. But you know what? Let's go and check a bit of her out, shall we? I can't wait for you to meet this lady, but you're going to have to wait a couple of minutes more because it's time for a Jaden Show commercial break. Okay, sit back, enjoy the next segment, because it is time to welcome to the Jaden Show the amazingly talented, the wonderful human being, the incredible Marika Rauscher. Marika Rauscher, Global Award Winning Awesome Soprano. Welcome to the Jaden Show. How are you, gorgeous lady?
I'm good, thanks, Jaden. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad now. I've overcome my technical difficulties.
Ah, bless. They do say never work with technology, animals, or children.
Or classical crossover singers that live on a mountain in Mexico with a high back chair.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Add that to the list.
So I want to talk about you, your wonderful talent, your beautiful voice, and all about your creativity. But I want to take you back to mini Marika, right? So you're in your family home. Number one, I want to know where that is, because you're actually Austrian, even though you sound like you're from London, innit? Well, yeah, I know we'll talk about that as well. But I want to talk about your background, your family environment, what music was going on around you, and what kind of started you on that path to becoming a globally international award-winning awesome soprano.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. So my name is Austrian, and both my parents are from Austria. So I am Austrian, Anglo-Austrian. Austrian by nationality, but born and brought up in London. So hence why I've got the plummy English accent now, because although I learned Austrian as my first language, by the time I got to sort of halfway through primary school, learned English at school, and then the kids weren't very kind to me about my little Austrian Heidi accent, and got sent to speech and drama lessons with my sister once a week. So I think that was a kind way of calling elocution speech and drama.
Nice. So now you say like in it and what's up and how's it going and stuff like that.
That all came later. So yeah, and then my parents actually had an Austrian restaurant off Oxford Street in central London. And we had a live accordion player, and my mum sang.
Wow.
Do you remember those two British sitcoms called Hello and Fawlty Towers?
Oh, of course. I still watch them now on YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
I was
If you can find the two, you've got my whole upbringing named.
Really? Hello Towers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so mum always sang. We had the live accordion player, so we were just constantly surrounded by the Austrian and classical music, which was divine. And mum sang, she's a polyglot, and literally would be able to sing a verse in any language of any national song. And then she'd pretend that she had to go get some food for table 6, and she'd just leave the microphone on the table and go, carry on, oh my God, the crowds need entertaining. And people, it was a wonderful place, because you just made friends automatically, because then the conversation starter was there, because everyone's going, go on, sing, pick it up, on the table next to you. And then you're going, no, you pick it up, I'm not touching it. And then my dad would come round with some schnapps, and then everyone get drunk.
And everyone was singing.
And then everyone was singing. Yeah, so it was one of those environments where just getting up and singing and being part of that fun and entertainment was part of your everyday
almost
experience.
Like the original open mic. Maybe even you guys started it.
Oh my God, I think my mum and dad started it all off.
Yeah, that's amazing. Was it tourist based, or was it like the Austrian community of London? I mean, or was it a mixture of both, or?
Complete mixture, because where they were located at the time, you had the Royal College of Music, you had EMI, Sony, you had all the sort of production companies around there. So you had loads of different, and all the media types. We had was it GLR radio station?
Yeah. Great London.
It was called GLR. Yeah, that was on Marylebone High Street. So there was just so many different influences around there, and they all piled in and had their corporate parties there. And it was one of those old school places where they'd come in for lunch and they'd still be there at dinner.
Sweet.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll roll out,
amazing.
And me and my sister got sent. They were like, oh my God, you need to go to the pub next door and get some more vodka. We've run out. Well, we've got a delivery coming in tomorrow. Tell them we'll give it back to them. But
a super colourful youth then.
Yeah. But it was also the working ethic then came into play, because we had to work in the restaurant. It was a family-owned business, so we didn't get given pocket money or anything like that. It was just like, you have to do a shift in the restaurant, end of, you work for your money. But it was great. It was lovely. And then I always remember sort of on Sundays, my dad used to just break free of anything Austrian and had Greek music blasting through the flat. And sort of like, I was just like, oh, brilliant. So it was, ABBA, Greek music or Austrian music, and that was pretty much it. And then whatever was playing on the radio at the time, and watching, the UK Top of the Pops.
Oh, love it. What was the very first cassette 7-inch single? I mean, like, what was the very first thing that you bought for you?
Madonna's True Blue.
You girl. Proud of you. Respect.
Loved it. Madonna and Michael Jackson were my heroes.
I still sing True Blue in my events, actually. I love it.
Do you?
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, love it. I get to play with all my favourite music now.
Oh, that's the best bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of, I love that fact about that crossover thing, is that you're sort of going, okay, well, everyone goes, well, narrow it down. What's your favourite? And I went, if I had a favourite, I would have specialised in one thing. But I just love all of it. So.
I call myself, I'm transvocal now.
Oh, brilliant.
Transvocal, yeah, because I can do I think it's... I remember I came over here as a classical crossover singer, so I had 32 tracks like Josh Groban, Il Divo, Mario Franguli, all this kind of stuff. So I was literally just doing classical and crossover with a bit of musical tucked in, and I'm in the middle going, Nessa Norma, and someone touching me on the shoulder, go, do you know any Whitney? Firstly, you don't interrupt Pavarotti, number one, he wouldn't allow it. And secondly, I dance with somebody, let's do it. So now I have over 1,500 different tracks in all genres in 5 different languages, and so I will sing like the prayer, and then 20 minutes later I'm singing Dua Lipa Hallucinate. Do you know what I mean? I see what people are tapping to and what people are vibing. I sing a lot in Spanish as well now, obviously because I'm in Mexico. But yeah, and I love it. But yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I'm transvocal now.
I love that.
I just go with whatever I'm feeling, and it's wonderful. It's quite freeing, actually.
It's awesome, but as you said, it's like one of those things. You just play the room and you play your audience, and sort of like, and it's wonderful to be able to offer stuff where you just go, there's going to be something for everybody in that space. It's not it doesn't have to be niche.
It's I tell you what I find the most interesting, especially if I'm in the kind of I just want to sing pop at the moment. I'm having a bad day or I'm tired. I just want to sing up tempo pop, so I do all like ABBA, Tina Turner, everything. And then I see someone, I think, sod it, I'm going to sing Cinema Paradiso. So I was singing this, and then people are like,
bloody brilliant.
It really just throws them off of they're like, he was singing Private Dancer 2 minutes ago. I said, this is the only place in the world you're going to get a short, fat, tattooed London boy singing mariachi to Dua Lipa, Pavarotti, to ABBA. You're never going to get it anywhere else, mate.
You're not, but that is exactly the fun of it. And just seeing that reaction of people, sort of like... And it's a funny story, actually, sort of like when I was doing wedding fairs to try and gauge some more wedding clients. And there's one couple, they just went, listen, we love you and we really want you to sing at our wedding, but we can't stand opera. So I just was like, look, I was like, you don't have to love opera. My ego isn't that fragile. That's fine. I said, however, I would strongly suggest that when you're doing your reception drinks and you guys are off having your photos done, you're not even there to hear it. I was like, but let me start with 2 opera numbers, at least 2 or 3, simply because, not because of my ego, I need to show everyone what I can do, but I said it becomes an icebreaker, because they were both from different cultures. I can't remember, but I was just like, I can imagine that if your family's coming together for the first time, they might not even speak fluent English or the other person's language. So I said, it's going to be awkward enough for that situation. I said, but love it or hate it, I will guarantee you that the first song aria they won't even notice. They'll think there's a CD playing. But the second one, they'll go, there's something happening here. And I don't care if they love it or hate it. They're just, even if they're standing there going, they're getting it. And they're going, oh my God, that's a live singer. And then they'll just go, oh bloody hell, I hope she's not going to be doing that all day. What the hell were they thinking, looking at a freaking opera singer? They know we hate opera. Whatever. It's a conversation starter. And then it's sort of like, and then that can break down into sort of like, Phantom of the Opera, which can go into your cabaret numbers. Before you know it, you've got them up on their feet with ABBA at the end.
Absolutely.
It's just, it's such an easy ice-breaking transition, but it does get the room to shut up.
No, it's something, it gets them, you capture them. I just kind of watch, even if they're not looking at me, even acknowledging my presence, but I see that foot going like that.
Yes!
I don't know. I love you, kiddo. You're ignoring me completely. Well, I fucking got you.
Like, you can try.
I'm in your mind.
And especially sort of like a lot of the time when you're seeing opera pops, people don't even know why they recognise it, but it's just sort of like, they'll come up, they'll just go, oh, do you know the British Airways advert one? Oh, do you, whatever it is, they'll just remember it from something, and then they've got an in.
I tell you what I found really amusing. Like when I was in England, I was just classical crossover, so I was literally doing opera, and I remember singing. It was a night it was a night in Devon in a theatre. There was the girl that played, I can't remember her name, I want to say Louise Dearman, but she played one of the witches in Wicked, and there was another guy that played Phantom. They were all West End musical stars, and me. And so I went in, and I think I sung a couple of Italian, I had 4 songs, and one of them was Dance with My Father in Spanish.
Oh!
Okay. It was a pop backing track. But I was singing the song in Spanish, and everyone, that Spanish classical number, it was absolutely beautiful. And thank you so much. Here, it's just Dance with My Father pop in Spanish. But in England, because it wasn't a different language, it was classical crossover, darling.
Well, this is it. It's like doing My Heart Will Go On in Italian or something. Yeah. And people just go, oh! It's just
amazing. Like classical. No, it's just, I'm singing it. But it kind of breaks down the... I've kind of, in my old age now, become transvocal. I'm kind of a little bit I like the fact that music is down music. And you can do what you're best at. Like, I shock the most people when I sing classical or mariachi, because they don't expect a white boy, little white tattooed boy, to be busting out the prayer or Nessun Dorma or come to say goodbye. But the fact that your voice is an instrument as well, and if you can, I'm not going to sing Dua Lipa the same as I sing, or Beyonce. I'm not going to say, I don't think you're ready for this journey, because I'm going to sound like a knob. No, absolutely. In fact, I did dump an ex because of that exact scenario. But no, because but you learn to play with your voice, and your voice becomes an instrument, and it's incredibly versatile. So I love the freedom of the music is the new pigeonhole, and anything that is musical will fit in. And they don't think, oh my God, that's just so weird that you're doing Spanish, and then you're doing Phantom of the Opera, and then you're doing ABBA, and it just, because I'm always Jaden in it, it flows. And I'm pretty sure that, you're doing something, from Madame Butterfly or something, and then going into doing ABBA, it's just Marika, right? And you make yours. It's amazing. I find that more magical, actually.
Joe Blogs out there loves it. They haven't got an issue with it, but it's the music industry,
the record
or the
companies,
different. That's where people start having a problem. They're like, oh, you can't do it all, or you can't do it all, or if they can't fit you into their little box, you don't kind of belong. And it's just sort of like, well, I'm not looking to fit into your box.
No, I'm just being me in my musical
That's fine.
greatness.
I don't need to. Yeah, exactly that. And sort of like, and it's brought me to so many different wonderful opportunities that, you're just sort of going, if I didn't have that versatility and flexibility and that Marika about it and that Jaden about it, we wouldn't get the jobs that we get.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't have the fun.
No.
And the music industry is as such that, you can be completely within the parameters of that box, but you don't have enough TikTok viewers, I'm sorry. So they're creating more reasons not to get involved with artists now. It's just, back in the 90s when I was signed to a label, it was just like, okay, you do this, you do that, and that's great. There was no internet at all. So you worked your butt off, like,
Yeah.
just hundreds. I mean, you didn't really sleep for months because you were in the back of a Ford Fiesta traveling all over the bloody country.
Yeah.
And now I can release a song, go and take a wee, and come back, and I've just had a download in Ethiopia.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing. So it's a complete different ball game now. And I think, a friend of mine is in the Canadian tenors, and so he was kind of always doing the most beautiful.
Awesome.
Oh, he's just phenomenally, a talented man. And then he thought, after COVID, he was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go to London to, and record with the Winner Takes It All with the Royal Symphony Orchestra. And it's just, wow, good on you, dude. Good on you. Yeah, sweet. I love the fact that the boxes are slowly breaking, right?
Yes.
So,
which is so important. It's so important.
So, what were your family listening to a bit of everything, or was it just you? Were you just backsliding and putting True Blue on quietly in a closet?
No, my parents listened to everything.
Oh, sweet.
Literally, sort of. And I think I was very, very fortunate as well that my parents were so into theatre and music that they would take us to concerts on every Boxing Day. I'm pretty sure it was Boxing Day, and we always went to a ballet or an opera. That was or a musical. It was like the family treat, and that was the Christmas present that we all looked forward to. And that's why I kind of fell in love with it, because we didn't go to pop concerts, but they took us to different flamenco things or different dances and cultures, and so we just had that from a really early age, and all those different influences, which was amazing to access. And then when you see live theatre and live opera with a full orchestra and the costumes and the lights, it was just mind-blowing.
It's another world, isn't it? Completely.
And I'm still in awe of it, even if you know what the mechanics and the workings are.
Yeah.
I just think there is something so intrinsically special about live performance, which blows my mind. And I've actually, a friend of mine recently, he's a sound engineer, and he was touring with McFly. So he said, I'm going to be doing the gig at the O2 Arena in London. Do you want to come to the McFly and Busted show? And I was just sort of like, oh my God, definitely, I'm in. So I was just like, harking back to my youth. But then I'd never been to a pop concert in that big a stadium. And this sounds right up my own butt. I've sung in the big stadium, but I've never been to a bigger one. And it just blew my head. I came out like a 14-year-old screaming. I was like, ah! And all of a sudden, there's no wires on the guitars. I was just like, well, how does that work? They didn't even have wires. And he was like, what planet do you live on? And I was just like, I live in Marika World.
Exactly. Best place. Safest place, mate.
It's safest for everyone, trust me. But it's just so immensely powerful to see what goes on, how it goes on, and the power of music. And when people cry at your performances, you just go, oh Christ, I wasn't that bad, was I? Stop crying. Me too. And they're just
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And they're just like, no, it's just so moving and it's just so powerful. And I have to remind myself of that, because when I go to all these concerts and to shows, I get that moved. It is something just so wonderful.
It's so pure therapy. I mean, I've shared this story on the show before, but one of the best things, which really, I've always been quite shy. I've never been an arrogant artist. Like, I've always been like, oh my God, they're going to fucking hate me. Oh my God, I'm just doing shit. Oh my God, they've
Jaden, I think most artists
yeah. So I remember doing one time, I was doing a shopping mall actually. And I was just like, why am I doing these? Like, no one's interested. They're only interested in what's the cheapest thing they can get at Primani. And I really give a shit about what I'm doing. And you always get the crazies or the drunks as well. I mean, that's really cool. And then at the end, this woman was just kind of standing, and I was like, okay, here we go. I'm like, hey, lovely, are you all right? She's like, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I said, do you enjoy the show? She went, yeah. Well, okay, I'm just packing up, if that's all right. I have to tell you something. And I was like, what? And I'm just thinking, why do I do this? It's not benefiting anyone. It's just noise in the background just because a shopping mall wants something special one day. And then she said, I live around the corner. I went, oh, nice. I said, then you can get into supermarket and to Iceland's really quickly. I said, that's wonderful. And she said, no, I've not been out of my house for 15, 20 years. I can't remember now. I went, oh, okay. She goes, I've been agoraphobic and I've been in therapy for it for years now. I went, okay.
Oh my God.
And then she said, but I went to step out the house today and I didn't think I could do it. But I heard someone singing Dance with My Father. And that was my song to my dad. And I had to go and find out where it came from. And so I walked 10 minutes to hear. And she was all very like anxiety through the roof. She said, but it got me out the house. Thank you so much. And I went, Jaden, you're such an arsehole, moaning about everything you still don't. And it really kicked, like, even if I will still do a show to the bar staff and one person sitting at a table, the same as I would to 250 people, 200,000 people, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because now I just realise the pure importance of music, and how, especially in this day and age, there isn't much nice. But to sit there and go, oh my God, my dad played this record when I was 7. I remember this shit. Or, oh my God, I just want to dance, baby. I want to dance. Like anything now is just like bringing that therapy.
Oh my God, totally.
That escape now is more important than ever.
And not just for people listening, but even, that's why I do the choirs and why I teach, because it changes your life.
Completely.
Sort of like, although... I mean, when you were saying, go back into Little Marika, it's just like Little Marika was also, I was shy. Mm-hmm. Like everyone, then when I talked to my friends who still know me from back then, they were like, no, you bloody weren't. And I was just like, well, inside I was.
Yeah, dying.
I wasn't an extrovert. I wouldn't have gone, it was just really bizarre how over the years you gain your confidence. And I went to university as a first study flautist. So singing was always around in my life, but it wasn't my first instrument because I was just like, that's too exposing. I was just like, I'm happy to hide behind the piano, happy to hide behind the flute. And then it was at university when it went, actually, no one knows me here and nobody knows that I sing. So I'll give that a go because no one can judge me if they don't know I've done it before.
Right.
And that's when you sort of like started coming out of my shell a little bit and then just found the absolute freedom and joy. And then the monster was born.
Fantastic. But I would like to take you back again. So obviously you're around some phenomenal colours of music in your youth. And obviously I'm sure you picked up that mic a couple of times in the restaurant, right? Or did you?
Do you know what? I didn't. I hated it. At that time, I was so insecure that every time my mum, it was wonderful. They really wanted to support me and they always thought I should pick up the mic and sing. That was always encouraged. But at the time, I didn't have that belief in me. Right. And I didn't want to then shame them if I, because my mum still is, larger than life personality. And and therefore you just kind of didn't feel in the shadow, but you're like, I can't live up to that because I'm just a little girl.
Right.
And I just didn't want to be in the spotlight. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to be your performing monkey. Don't make me your secondary act to fill your gap when you've got to work. Because I was at the time, I just didn't have the confidence to take that mic on and just let rip and become the showgirl.
But when did you? So when did you start finding your voice and your ability to do what you do?
University, I think.
Really? So quite old then, really? Late teens?
Yeah. I mean, I always sang. I was in all the school productions and my flute teacher was actually the one who encouraged me to do the singing. And he left me as a flute teacher to become a chorus member at the Royal Opera House. Wow. So he knew what he was talking about. Yeah, but he always said, oh no, he goes, oh, you were auditioning for the school show? And I was like, well, I thought I might go for backstage. He was just like, front stage, solo. So he goes, right, that's it. Next week, don't bring your flute. We're going over all the audition repertoire. And so I was just like, he won't remember by next week. So I was just like, nod along, smile along. All right, babe, don't worry. Came along, he just went, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm putting my flute together. And he was just like, yeah, we're not playing flute today. We're doing your audition songs. And I was like, oh, you remembered that, huh? He was like, yep. And then I got a solo and one of the leading roles, and then he really encouraged me to go into music. And so he was a real pinnacle forte of pushing me to the front there.
That's when the Rauscher empire was born.
Yeah, and what was really, really special is when I was in the extra chorus of the Royal Opera House, when I was there performing in one of the productions, he was still there. And I found him in the canteen, and I was like, Mr. Freeburn, I don't expect you to remember me, but you taught me flute at Queen's College. And he was just like, Marika Rauscher, of course I remember you. How are your parents? Do they still have the restaurant? And I was just like, oh my God, he remembers me. And I just managed to say thank you so much for everything you did to encourage me, because I wouldn't be here now without you. Yeah, and he was just, I think he kind of ran away. I think I scared the shit out of him. But yes, he loved it. So
what happened after university? So obviously you've now found your vocal cords. What kind of took you on, and what was the path to becoming the artist that you are now?
Yeah, well, I came back and then I just needed to earn some money. So I ended up doing full-time jobs like most people do, and was doing quite well. I ended up being an operations manager for an art gallery and earning a decent amount of money for the age of 23. And then I was just like, do you know what? I'm just not doing any of my singing, because when you're in that industry, you're having to work evenings and weekends. And I said, well, that's when I should be singing. So I was just like, I can't be, these two worlds don't collide. So I just went, okay, I still need to earn money, but if I find a 9 till 5 job, then at least I'll have my evenings and weekends free. So then I ended up temping and doing office jobs and just doing reception. And then I ended up doing human resources for Citibanks. And it was at that point that I was still training, taking singing lessons, starting to get out there, doing courses, opera courses, and small scale productions, and then just taking holiday leave and sick pay and lying to get out of the day jobs to go and do it.
Ex-employers working this still have some kind of human resources rights over their salary that was gained while she was and singing in Brighton. Please don't do anything. This is meant to be.
Yeah. It's like, in all fairness, I am still friends with quite a few of them, but I exposed myself long ago. I think they knew. But yeah, and it was great, because they were always saying, oh, what did you do on the weekend? I said, oh, I'm the in-house opera singer at Harrods. And they were like,
wow.
What? And I was just sort of like, yeah, I'm an opera singer, so this is just like a part-time gig for me, this earning money at a desk thing. And they were just like, yeah, well, good luck with that. And I was just like, thanks.
Good luck with what you're doing. Oh, you're going to go to the park with the kids. Yeah, lovely, enjoy.
Yeah, you enjoy that. Have fun. So, yeah. And then it was whilst I was at Harrods, that was my first real breakthrough paying gig. And then from there, I ended up going to sing in the Middle East for 6 months, as one does, on a 7-star man-made island. So I was just sort of like, yeah, I'm going to just ditch everything and go to the Middle East and sing in a desert.
Why not?
Because why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
And it was awesome. It was just so much fun. And that was the first time I really had a kind of music experience where you're living and working as a musician with 20 other artists from all over the world. And, you know, you're just sort of going, it was a bit like the professional university thing where you're just then having jam sessions and you start collaborating with different musicians. You know, there was a zitar, and a dulcimer player and an accordion player. And I was just like, oh my God, well, I wonder if we can fuse my sounds with your sounds, and what's your cultural music and how does that work? And, you know, it was just a whole playground of musical ideas and differences. And that's where I started doing the crossover stuff.
Wow.
Because I was just like, okay, well, if I'm singing in the desert, who's going to know if I'm not a musical theatre singer? You know, so I was just like, let's give it a go. And then I just started doing because literally just singing opera every day for, you know, it was I think about a 3 or 4 hour shift, and you're doing like half an hour or 45-minute sets. I was just like, I'm going to fatigue myself pretty quickly. So I was just like, I need to find repertoire that I can put in between the big numbers just to sort of stagger my energy levels and my vocal cords. And just started singing all my favorites. I was just like, let's give Cher a go. Let's give Barbara Streisand a go. Let's throw the mud at the wall. And it was sometimes I just went, yeah, I'm never going to sing that again, because that was absolutely horrific. And other songs you were like, I just need to find the right color for this. This could be awesome. I just haven't found the right tone or the right color or the right texture that I need in that song. And so I really leant towards the old school musicals, the sort of My Fair Ladies or that style. Because it's like I'm raising my hand, and then this Zoom thing just raised a hand. I don't know how to switch that off.
I didn't see it, I just saw your hand.
Oh, okay, great. Because, the technology has a mind of its own and it's interpreting what I'm doing. But yeah, so that's where the crossover Queen was born, and then doing lots of different jazz stuff. And then I just went, actually, there's something in this. And when I go back to London, let's see if I can get some jazz gigs. Let's see if I can get some cabaret gigs. Maybe I can do this crossover stuff. And then really infiltrated the cabaret world and became sort of the opera singing cabaret artist, sort of like singing in all my different languages, did my own show, took that on tour.
I wish I'd known you when I was in London. We would have had a good bloody crack at something.
God, we just come back. It's never too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Come to bloody Mexico.
I'll come to bloody Mexico. I was about to say it. Let's show them how it's done.
Absolutely. Wow.
So it's so much fun. Yeah. And from there, I just was like, let's see if I can get into the restaurants. And then I tried to get onto cruise ships for a while because I didn't realise how I was headhunted for some cruise ships. And I just thought that was another 6-month contract where I just heard that you have to be a chambermaid or a barmaid, and then you just do the lounge room entertainment at the same time. And I was just like, yeah, no, that doesn't interest me. I wanted to just constantly step it up one level. I was just sort of like, I need something else. I want more. And so this agent just went, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Can you just meet me for lunch and I'll talk you through it? So I was like, sure. A girl needs to eat. And so we spoke, and then that's the first time I'd ever heard of a headline act where he just went, no, we'll fly you in. You do your 2 45-minute cabaret shows, like one on each night, and then we fly you out again. So you've got, 2,000-seater theatre on this yacht. And I was just like, I'm sorry, what? How many? I was just like, that's the size of the stalls in the dress circle of the Palladium. Like, that's a freaking major, that's a floating theatre. Yeah, how big are these things? I had no idea. I was just sort of like, he was like, yeah, well, it's not a dinghy, it's a cruise ship. And I went, well, I've never seen one. But then, for that, I would have needed to get a different show reel done, and I would have made my money back. But by the time I had my shit together and got that done, the trends had changed. So they said, well, we're not looking for that package anymore. We're now looking for instrumentalists. So we're looking for comedians. We're looking for magicians. And suddenly my window closed. And I just went, okay, well, everything comes at the right time. So it's like, it was always an option. And then other things just came up, and I ended up doing the Hollywood film soundtracks and, just singing on different opera productions, and then just doing my own cabaret shows and and then sort of randomly ending up yodeling for Xbox. It's like, I don't even yodel.
It's in your genetics.
Presumably. One learns how to sort of blag on the job quite convincingly. It's like, don't know what the hell you're doing half the time, but you just say yes. If I always say yes and then just go, oh crap, now I've got to deliver. But if somebody has asked me to do something, they believe that I've got the capability to do it. Yeah. So therefore, I'll be damned if I'm going to talk myself out of it. It's just sort of like, okay, well, someone believes I can do it.
That's enough.
Let's go. Yeah.
And then if they believe that I can do it, they're the only person that's going to be disappointed when I can't. Because I knew I couldn't anyway.
What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Amazing. What would you say has been the highlight of your career to date, apart from the Jaden show, obviously?
Obviously, that's what my first thing was.
Obviously, I knew it was coming out. So yeah, apart from that, what would you say has been like the thing that you thought, shit, man, I'm really doing this?
Do you know what? The for me, being on the Royal Opera House stage, even though I was so far in the back, you would never have seen me. Don't care. Looking at that was my childhood dream.
Wow.
And there's only a few elite few who will ever experience performing on a world stage like that. And I didn't care what capacity that was in. The fact that I was in it and doing it was mind blowing.
Wow.
So I think that was for me a moment I'll never forget. But I've been blessed. I've had so many, just singing for the royal family, or then just singing at the Way for Women's Euros at the opening ceremony. Do you know what? I thought that was a scam when I got that email.
Really?
It was the first thing I did after lockdown. I hadn't sung in public in 2.5 years or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden someone said, oh, can you sing the national anthem for the opening ceremony of the Way for Women's Euros? I was just like, at the Old Trafford Stadium, 70,000 people, globally televised. I was just like, yeah, right, whatever, jog on. I was like, this has got to be some kind of a wind up. So I was just like, I'm just waiting for them to ask to transfer money into my account.
Yeah.
And, so I just went, okay, let's just play along here. And then it just kept going. I went, okay, when's the scam coming out? And eventually a contract landed in my lap. I went, oh my God, it's for real.
Real. Cool.
It's going to happen. And that was terrifying.
Wow.
Terrifying.
Really?
Not terrifying to sing to 70,000 people or even singing the Austrian anthem, but I'd never worked with in-ear monitors before. Okay. And that scared the living daylights out of me, that somebody else had full control of my audio.
Wow.
So I was just so used to being a one-man band, doing everything myself, that relinquishing that on that level in such a public arena, I was just like, what if I can't hear it? I don't even know what to ask for because I've never worked with it before.
You can't go.
Yeah. Oh, God. It was just terrifying.
That is
terrifying.
So we've covered your past. We've brought you up to date. What is going on for Marika now?
Well, so for the last couple of years, I've been running choirs, but specifically running choirs in prisons. Ooh. So I've got 3 prisons on the go, 2 male prisons and 1 female prison. And it's one of the most rewarding jobs I think I've ever done.
Wow.
In that it's part of the rehabilitation and resettlement program. The company I work for is called Liberty Choir. And we are in 11 prisons now. And it's just phenomenal to be able to see the impact of your work and the impact of what singing does and what group singing can do in the space of 2 hours.
Wow.
I mean, when we say singing can change lives, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand what it can do. A lot of these lovely, lovely lads that come in thinking they're harder than nails and bravado all over the shop. And I get that they're in an environment where
they have to.
Yeah. And, we sing something like Run or Counting Stars or Nice. My Way, Frank Sinatra, or even a gospel song or a spiritual. And these tough nuts sit there and cry their eyes out and their heart out. And they just come up to you afterwards and go, thank you so much for giving me a safe space. I didn't realize how much I was suppressing of my emotions or memories. And I was just like, well, if you don't express those emotions, that, you're going to get into trouble again. Yeah. It's going to come out somewhere. Yeah. Like, find an outlet that is safe, that is creative. And we stay in touch with them when they get out. We help them integrate back in society. It's really such a rewarding project. I mean, I could talk about it for hours. But so hopefully, we're expanding into more prisons in the coming year, which is phenomenal. And then also in my private coaching, I want to be expanding that. I've had a lot of people asking me, So my music lessons, I'm just finding there's a lot of one-to-one work I just don't have the time to do anymore, but I don't want to let those people down. I still value that work. So look out for some masterclasses, and I'm going to get some courses on the go, and just really start franchising myself.
Lovely.
And then I'm much more performing. I just think there's just almost, like coming to Mexico now, Jaden. I mean, that's
think
now
2026. I'm starting I'm kind of a bit more settled. I'm going to set up my studio, and I started a couple of years ago a thing called It's Do O'Clock, and kind of just for YouTube really. I'm just going to start doing duets remotely with artists all over the world in whatever language, I don't care, whatever style, whatever genre, just for YouTube. And I've actually got 3. I've actually got an Il Divo one in Spanish, and I'll send you the link so you can see it. But and I think we could, even as a bit of a pastime, just do something like that.
Book me.
You're booked. I'm writing it down. People at home, you've witnessed this. Please, if she don't do it this time next year, get on her case.
It's a verbal agreement. It's legally binding.
I didn't realise it was. Maybe I need to be sorting some of this.
No, you've done it now.
Okay, right. So we're going to do something remotely. If I get to England, then if it's at a time you've got a show, hopefully I'm going to do a show when I get to England. This is my plan, because I've not sung in England for a decade nearly.
Oh my gosh!
Lovely, just to get. I want to sing in my mum's church hall where I first done my first little gig.
Where is that? What church
in West London, in Isleworth, on the Great West Road that goes all the way from London to Heathrow, the A4. Yeah. So I'm going to do a couple of nights there. I'm going to do a classical and jazz night, and then I'm going to do a pop and dance night. This is my plan.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
So come up and bust a couple of duets with me. That would be super fun.
That would be so awesome.
That would be super fun.
Done.
Okay, so future plans, apart from duet with Jaden, remotely or non-remotely, what else is going on? What are your long-term and medium long-term future plans?
A holiday.
Nice. Mexico?
Mexico holiday. I haven't actually decided on where I was going, so I'm all up for that. I think that's my next stop, really. It's sort of, I need
a bit of a break.
And then on the longer scale of things is just ramping up the performance side of things again. Getting myself out there this year. I'm very lucky. I had a lot of wonderful gigs, but they're through contacts I already knew. And I just want to cast the net a little bit further again this year, and then expanding my own coaching practice so that all happens, so there's a few really exciting things on the go. I can't say too much because it's sort of like the business model hasn't been released yet.
But watch this space, kids.
But watch this space. There could be online courses going on. There's a whole sort of business package coming out. So
the best thing for people is to follow your website, right? Because
follow the website
or follow social media.
Exactly. Social media and websites is where you're going to find all the information there. So that will be updated as and when those things come out. So there's a lot of exciting things on the back boiler for 2026. Which is really, really fab. And then there's a couple of opportunities that I might be performing abroad again, look like Mexico, because I haven't sung abroad since pre-COVID. Okay. So it was just getting the business back up and running in the UK, and now it's sort of like the opportunity to start touring and just traveling and singing abroad again is on the cards.
Bloody wonderful. People at home, throughout the whole of this interview, you would have seen running along the bottom of the screen all of Marika's social media and website links. You will also find everything on the title page of this episode. So make sure before you've finished your cup of tea and your cheese sandwich, make sure you don't turn that computer or phone off. You go and do your following, your sharing, your liking, your commenting, your loving, and your supporting, quite frankly.
Loving
Marika, thank you so much. Firstly, I'm so chuffed to meet you, and secondly, I'm very much excited for 2026 for you and your career, and maybe our duet as well. That would be super lovely. But thank you so much for spending time to come and chill out with me and have a good old chinwag.
Well, it was long overdue, can I just say?
You know, You know, I've got such a busy, hectic schedule up here in the mountains.
You are a busy man.
I
As
do
soon as
try.
I got asked, I snapped you up. I was like, yes, book me in.
Get me a window, darling. Get me a window. Well, we've done it, and this is not the end because we're going to catch up. Anything that comes out in the future, if you've got EPs or if you've got events coming out, then we can do a Jaden show special. Not easy to say.
Oh, bless you.
And we can do a little shout out. We can have a little catch up, a little shout out, and it will go out on a midweek and like the Wednesday before your show or the Wednesday before your music or whatever. We can do that. Always keep in touch. You're part of the Jaden Show family now, darling.
Loving it.
Marika Rauscher, thank you. You are a joy and a blessing, and you are awesome. And I will catch up with you soon.
Thank you, lovely.
See you
later.
Bye-bye. How amazing is she? What an incredible show. What an incredible human. What an incredible talent. Please go and find her on her social media platforms. Go and download her music. Go and check her out. Go and check out the other projects that she's involved in as well. She is super, super awesome and super worthy of your support and your love. I hope you've enjoyed today's show as much as I have enjoyed making it. I hope that you will subscribe to this channel, that you'll like, that you'll comment, that you'll share, that you'll do all lovely things before you log off today. And hopefully you'll come and join me again next week for another wonderful Jaden show. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a little bit more music by Marika Rauscher. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.
This piano's totally out of tune.